Nazi economic policies. The year 1936 marked a clear turning point in Nazi economy. Confidence had been restored and the unemployment had been reduced to 1.6 million. But by 1936 there was clear differences in how to develop the German economy. Schacht and many in the business community favoured encouraging exports, slowing the increase in arms expenditure, using the opportunity to embark on a consumer boom at home to produce increased living standards and to expand German trade abroad, and a time of stabilisation and consolidation, and the last they wanted was war. Hitler disagreed to all this. He wanted to focus the economic policy to be on rearmament, aiming Germany towards future war. Schacht was replaced by a loyal sympathetic and power-hungry Nazi, Hermann Göring, and he set about his 4-year plan, and it was launched in 1936. Göring's 4-year plan, Rearmament, 1936–39. Göring's 4-year plan lasted from 1936 to 39 and was the second phase of Nazi economics. Hitler used this to prepare Germany for war. Aims. The aims were a combination of economic and military aims. 1. To make Germany ready for war in 4 years. 2. Priority was given to rearmament. It was a key aim to build up industry production for the German Army, Navy and Air Force. This would make Germany into a great power again. 3. Priority given to autarky, to make Germany economically self-sufficient in preparation for war. This was done by expanding production of vital raw materials and developing substitutes for imports in the hope to not rely on other countries. Germany in World War I was weakened by the lack of raw materials from the Allied blockade. It was hoped that the autarky would prevent this. Key measures. Göring was aiming for total autarky, but Göring, unlike Schacht, was not an economics expert. 1. Stricter government control. The economy was under state supervision. The government set overall targets that private industries had to meet in oil, rubber and steel. Targets were also set for food production. 2. New factories. New industrial plants were made for the production of oil, rubber and steel. 3. Investment. 2/3 of the industrial investment in Germany between 1936 and 1939 went directly into preparation for war, such as chemical industries. By 1939, a quarter of the industrial workforce was working on the orders of the armed forces. 4. Imports reduced. This reduced the reliance on other countries and to encourage autarky. 5. Autarky. Industries were encouraged to develop synthetic substitutes for raw materials, such as rubbers and textiles. Buna replaced rubber imports using coal to produce oil, using wood pulp to make clothes. Nuts were used to make oil and fat, and bones were used to make glue. Göring's successes. 1. Unemployment continued to fall. By 1939, it was 500,000 unemployed. 2. Industrial benefits. Heavy industry, such as coal mining, benefited from rearmament. 3. Success of new products. New products such as synthetic fuel oil were developed. 4. Benefits to some companies. Some companies benefited. Daimler-Benz, its new airplane factories were paid for by the state. 5. Chemical companies boosted. Chemical companies such as IG Farben benefited. Göring's failures. 1. Autarky didn't fully succeed. By 1939, the drive for autarky had failed. Even though the Nazis had spent billions of marks on the 4-year plan, Germany was still importing 1/3 of its raw materials, especially in iron ore, oil and rubber. 2. Balance of trade problems. The pressure to reduce imports led to a balance of trade problems, i.e. less money was coming into the country rather than going out. 3. Exports-orientated industry suffered, such as general household appliances like washing machines. 4. Missed targets. Production of oil, rubber, iron ore, steel and aluminium production fell short of planned targets. 5. Living standards declined. 6. Shortages and rationing. There were growing shortages in food. Examples: dairy produce such as butter and other consumer goods. Food rationing had to be introduced immediately in September 1939. Rations were not brought into Britain until 1941. 7. Labour shortages. There was pressure for wages increases for labour shortages. 8. Guns and butter debate. There were disagreement about which should come first, Resources for rearmament are supplying consumer goods. Some historians argue that the need to supply both held back the rearmament program and made Germany less prepared for war than it might have been. 9. Drive for war. It had become clear that the only way for Germany to truly achieve autarky was by conquering other states and seizing their resources. Some historians believe that Germany's economic problems forced Germany into a war.